back, Transformers fans. TF Review 16 coming at you with a Transformers video review for Transformers Prime First Edition Cliffjumper from the animated series Prime. This packaging is awesome. First of all, the first edition molds far superior to the Robots in Disguise versions you're seeing at retail now. These are very limited numbers, first edition, very hard to find. I finally got my Cliffjumper first edition. So here's the packaging, mint sealed in the box. You have the great artwork on the packaging, the graphic of the character, awesome character design. You got the great die cut packaging, and there is Cliffjumper. So here's a close-up, focus on in there. There's Cliffjumper in the packaging. Kind of small for a deluxe class. Looks a little bit smaller than some of the other ones, but awesome robot alt mode, vehicle alt mode, excuse me. So he's packaged. This is the U.S. version. Actually, this is the Canadian version, apparently. Here, first edition, you got the great foil embossed first edition on the side, Premiere Edition. You got the Autobot symbol and the awesome artwork here of Cliffjumper. Great character design. Love the horns. Love the die cut, how they cut the package to go with the artwork here on it. So, just incredible packaging. Love the first edition stuff. On the side, you have with display stand. And you can see the display stand in there. There's part of the Decepticon logos. All the first edition come with these awesome display stands. First edition series 004. Not focusing in on that very good. Cliffjumper, Hasbro release. On the back of the packaging, you got Cliffjumper in his vehicle mode, his sports car mode. They say sports car mode, but I would definitely say that is a muscle car mold. This character design, the vehicle alt mode, 1970 Dodge Challenger mold, awesome alt mode. And there you have the first edition RC, first edition Bumblebee, great packaging right here, 2-in-1 vehicle to robot. Yeah, first edition Cliffjumper. Mint sealed in the package. There he is. We'll do a comparison for the Robots in Disguise version, the Revealer. But very, very excited to see the first edition Cliffjumper, finally get him in my hands and be able to transform him. So let's take a look at him out of the package. Fair warning, boys. Cliffjumper will put a few dings in ya. Here's Cliffjumper, first edition, in his vehicle alt mode, his muscle car mode. This is a 1970 Dodge Challenger mold. You can see this is a beautiful design. Great details, great attention to detail with the vehicle mold. And you can see here he's got the tinted glass. Very show accurate as well. Here's Cliffjumper. He rolls awesome. Shiny red paint applications. Looks awesome from the back. You got the dual exhaust here, dual exhaust tips in the back. You can see them. He's got the painted bumper. Got the great side exhaust pipe sticking out there. Good wheel. You can even see the red plastic through the wheels. That looks cool. It's a cool look. Front of the vehicle, awesome paint. You can see the shiny grille and the dark tinted glass headlights. Under here, the dam, the front air dam. You got the great red paint and the good solid lines. Here's the rear view window, the tinted glass so you can't see inside the robot kibble. You have the awesome Autobot symbol, and this is actually part of the mold So it stands out. It's raised off, and it's great paint app. I mean, you can see the paint on there. So just an awesome, incredible design for the vehicle alt mold, the muscle car mold. Love Cliffjumper. This is the vehicle that the Transformers Prime Season 1 show opens with the Darkness Rising Part 1 opens on Cliffjumper in his in the 1970 Dodge Challenger muscle car mode, I should say. And so it opens the show. Really wish that he didn't die in episode 1. It was a great intro. It was a great way to launch the season. But would love to see more of this guy in future episodes. Hopefully they'll do some flashback episodes where they can include him more. So just incredible design. Love this guy. First edition Cliffjumper rocks. And to do a size comparison, here he is with the Robots in Disguise version. This is the RID Deluxe Cliffjumper. You can see doesn't have the tinted glass, completely new mold, new transformation, which I love that they did that. It's cool to see how they compare and how they contrast and how they can make the same character transform in different ways. That's cool. The first edition one is a superior edition. It is more detailed and has a cooler transformation. And is overall awesome and very hard to find as well. Very rare Transformer. If you can find it, you're lucky. If you have it, awesome, because this guy rocks. So here's a size comparison, and we'll talk about some of the differences in the details. In the back here, the RID version actually has a little better paint app on the bumper. You can see he's got the lights in the back, whereas the first edition doesn't have the painted lights in the back. But it also doesn't have the exhaust, the dual exhaust sticking out the back. So it's give and take. And again, the windows aren't tinted. They both look really awesome, and they're both. I highly recommend both of these figures. I love the horns on the front, and if you can compare the front as well. Really good paint apps on the RID version as well. Looks very cool. It doesn't have the Autobot symbol on this side, and this one has the weapon ports on the roof and on the side here. So he comes with a blaster / battle axe, and the first edition one doesn't come with weapons because he's got something even cooler built into his transformation and his mold. So there he is next to the RID version. Here he is next to first edition Bumblebee. So you can see, all in all, again, the Cliffjumper Deluxe figure is a bit smaller than the other Deluxe figures. He could have been a little bigger, should have been a little bigger, but I mean, if you go back to the Generation 1, the Cliffjumper character, well, and Bumblebee as well, they were smaller, vehicles. And if you see, this is still pretty show accurate for the new Transformers Prime show with Cliffjumper. They show him in his robot mode with the next to the Terracons and the and Starscream, so you'll get some indication of his size, and this deluxe version is pretty show accurate, even though he seems a lot smaller than the other ones. So there he is. Here he is, first edition. Since we're doing first edition, there is RC, Cliffjumper, RC, Cliffjumper, Bumblebee, First Edition Deluxe figures. So, let's get into the transformation of this guy. To transform Cliffjumper, and we'll take a look too at the underside here. There is, you can see his head here, arms up here, there's his hands, legs down here. So he is virtually the opposite as far as the mold and transformation as the RID version. But to transform him, what you want to do is first pull the front fenders out, and you'll see this whole piece comes with it. So pull the fenders out, flip those up and around, flip those up and around, and you'll see, so there, once you flip his fenders up and around, you want to take the glass piece here, fold that down. There's the glass for the back window. Fold that down. And then you can see on the side here, here's his foot. So you pull his foot out like that, and you fold this piece around, and it tabs into place. And then what you want to do is this whole piece is on a hinge. This whole leg piece is on a hinge. So you flip that down, and then get that to snap in there. So there you have one of his legs. Same thing on this side. Flip the window in like that. Fold this foot out and flip this piece around. And then his knee hinge goes in, straighten that, and there you have his other leg. So there is Cliffjumper's feet, his legs. Very cool transformation. There he's got the back wheel on there, which is show accurate. He's got these as his heel pieces. Very cool. Then what you want to do is split the top here, and you want to. This will angle slightly, so you flip this ab piece out, and then this will angle up slightly enough for you to turn the whole thing around. So flip the whole front piece around, the top swivel around. Then you take the what becomes his arms, and you fold his arms out, fold his shoulders down, arms out. So there you have. And then the ab piece here will split. It will tab up and lock into place, and it will split his windshield, and the hood and the windshield of the vehicle form his chest. And then his arm pieces fold up and around, and the rear of the car folds up and onto his shoulder. Flip the fender in, out, there you have his arm. Same on this side, the rear of the vehicle folds up onto his shoulder, the fender of the vehicle folds in, and there you have his arm and his forearm. Boom, pop his head up, his head is in the back here, pops up like that, and this is one of my favorite parts of the transformation, aside from his chest and his windshield being the chest. If you come around to the back here, here's the hood sitting on his back. We'll take the front dam piece right here, fold those in, and that will separate this. The grill piece comes up. This piece folds around and under, and it locks into place right here and forms his belt. So that's one of my favorite features of this transformation in this mold. This guy's awesome. He's incredible. And yeah, so the headlights come around, fold up and under, and make his belt. And there you have Cliffjumper Deluxe First Edition in his robot mode. And he is awesome. So, you want the horns? What does he say? When you want the horns, you want the horns? You got them. Cliffjumper. Another awesome feature. Doesn't come with any weapons. Doesn't have any weapon ports. Cliffjumper has his blasters. His arms convert to blasters. So there he's got his show accurate. Season 1, Episode 1, blasters. Fold the fender piece out with the wheel on it. Flip the blaster out, fold it back down on top. So there you have Cliffjumper with his blasters. Just awesome mold, awesome design. One of my favorite figures, definitely. First edition Cliffjumper. So there he is in all his glory. And make sure his belt there is folded up. And so you see on the back then, the back piece folds up. He's got the horns on his back. One thing about this, the show accuracy is great. On the show, his wheels are down here as well. So he's got wheels here and here on his, what do you call it, like thigh piece, on the back of his legs, I should say here. And he doesn't have the wheels up here on his forearms in the show. So, like this part of him doesn't have any wheels on it. Both of his wheels are in the back, which is, impossible for the transformation. So they should have changed the design of the on-screen character to match this more. So here is a comparison with the RID Cliffjumper. And here, again, same thing with this one. What they did is they faked it. They put molded in plastic on the back are his wheels. And you can see then his wheels are on the back of his shoulders here, which is not show accurate. So they kind of faked it on here, but yeah, so he's got more of the silver plastic. The first edition has more of the black. He has the RID version is a revealer, so you can see the gears up here. That is part of his transformation. His head pops up automatically, and there they are together. So very cool figures, all in all, both together. I highly recommend, like I said, both these figures. Awesome transformation, awesome vehicle mold, vehicle alt mode, awesome robot figure mode. Cliffjumper, and he's got his awesome belt. Both, and again on this version his chest piece is faked as well, like the wheels in the back. It's under the undercarriage, because you'll see and I went over this all in my review, the windshield is on his back, but this guy, the first edition, is incredible. Let's show off his detail in his face, his head sculpt. So he's got his awesome horns, which are a silver, and they're a rubber plastic material, so good, very durable. They're not going to snap off, even though he loses a horn in battle in the first episode. And the blasters are awesome. So here he is. He's got both blasters out, and he is awesome figure. One of my favorite first edition figures, and you can see in the back here he's got the clear plastic piece, or the blue plastic piece, for his light piping. So he's got really good light piping. You can't see it as much with the flash on, and you can see there's a big gap here as well. This is all the way through, but all in all, just an awesome design and an awesome figure. Definitely love this guy. So there is Cliffjumper, both versions, RID and first edition. So let's talk about the first edition deluxe figures, and let's do a comparison here. Here is Cliffjumper with first edition Bumblebee. So you can see again, he is smaller, he is shorter than Bumblebee. But not by much. You can see his shoulders go up as high as Bumblebee. So he's very bulky and stocky. He's shorter and stocky. So very cool. Here he is with his partner RC. And she is taller and bigger than him. First edition figures, these guys are awesome. So they look great together. Great for display. Definitely highly recommend Cliffjumper, the first edition figure, if you can find him or if you want to pay the money to get him. Here he is with his Deathbringer Starscream. And again, I really hope they do some flashback episodes to include Cliffjumper again. The character design is awesome. You know, down to his personality. And when they start off the opening scene, he's talking about NYPD putting the boot on his car, on his wheel, and him scaring them by transforming and taking the boot off. And just a really cool design, and one of my favorite figures, definitely. So, highly recommend Cliffjumper First Edition. This has been a TF Review 16. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, share, like. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. For more exclusive Transformers Prime video reviews, check out the YouTube channel, TF Review 16. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep collecting.